Hey, my little pumpkins, I'm S. Wolf. Welcome back to the channel. Got a little bit of kind of like almost video inspiration this morning. I was watching Fresh Baked, and he was doing rope drop in Disneyland. Fresh Baked, I'll link his channel down below. He's like an exclusively Disneyland DCA vlogger, and he's at the parks like a few times a week, almost every day of the week. He's down there recording stuff and kind of showing the construction reviews and updates and just, you know, park walkthroughs. And I was kind of watching his video, and you know, I immediately just start thinking Planet Coaster 2, and I was thinking, man, with what you know just by playing Planet Zoo, the technological leap that Planet Coaster 2 is going to take over Planet Coaster from, like, I would say just a pure lighting standpoint, pure engine standpoint, being able to let more people actually play the game with bigger parks, larger crowds, more piece counts. I don't think with a Planet Coaster 2 there's anything that's going to hold us back from those big recreations. I will say with Planet Coaster, you know, I started a Disney World recreation, got pretty heavy into it, kind of got burnt out at the end, and then plus they stopped developing it. Don't get me wrong, Theme Maker's Toolkit helped immensely. Really loved that program for what it was, as far as those, you know, people trying to step in and fill the void of Frontier not developing the game anymore for us. But I'm thinking with a Planet Coaster 2, it's like all bets are off. Like, we are going to be able to jump into that game, and I think you're going to be able to do one-to-one recreations of Disney World, you know, Disneyland, Disney's California Adventure, Tokyo Disneyland. I just think that this, like I mentioned just a minute ago, from a pure technological standpoint and what they have learned since the release of Planet Zoo, since the end of Planet Coaster, and who knows, if Planet Coaster 2 is under development, it could very well have been under development shortly after Planet Zoo released, maybe even in the early stages of development before Planet Zoo released. And I think that goes back to what we talked about when people say, you know, well, they released Jurassic World Evolution 2 so soon after 1. Yeah, but Jurassic World Evolution 1, I believe via a leak, even from some of their developers, programmers, animators, they literally said that game, like, they had got so far into it that it was easier to create Jurassic World Evolution 2 than to fix Jurassic World Evolution 1. And I don't really think that was the case for Planet Coaster. It was proverbially the best theme park simulation game that arguably any of us have ever played. There wasn't a need for a sequel a year after development stopped. Yeah, we would have loved that. Like, okay, especially like when we were consuming Planet Zoo and all that we saw with the water and the lighting and the guest animations and the guest interaction. Remember, you got to think how much more guest interaction we got from Planet Zoo than we ever did. We're talking way past just mascots with Planet Zoo. And look at all of that experience and all of that technology that they've learned over the life of Planet Zoo that they'll be able to, or maybe already have, of course, if it's under development, implemented into a Planet Coaster 2. I am just, I'm just really hyped with the prospect of a Planet Coaster 2, nothing holding us back. Like, I really don't think we're going to have a lot of excuses to not take on that park of your dreams, to not really push the envelope of your imagination, to try to get these ideas out of your head and into the 3D realm. I am just, that's really got me excited. And like I said, I haven't made a video in like a month or two. Watching that Fresh Bake video this morning and watching him just walk around Disneyland, looking at the Pinocchio, or the, excuse me, the Peter Pan's Flight facade, just watching him kind of walk all through Fantasyland and like the little Casey Jr.'s area where the boats are and the train. Like, I just think that we are in for a wild ride if this thing gets announced and we actually get to see, like, through the lens of how we've watched Planet Zoo progress. And it's just, I don't know if you guys, I don't know, like, if you've played both, you know what I mean, in the sense of, if you play Planet Zoo for a while and then you put that away and you jump into Planet Coaster, like, it almost makes you want to projectile vomit, just with respect to the lighting and the textures. And, you know, the coaster, everything looks great. If you don't, I'll say this, if you don't play Planet Zoo for a long while, don't play it for a month or two, and don't play Planet Coaster either, and then after, you know, give it a month or two and jump into Planet Coaster, you're right back into, like, man, I've got these awesome ideas, but I want to wait. I can't do it with this game. My idea has to be a Planet Coaster 2 idea. And like I said, I think that's what excites me more. And with respect to, this might be our last big bang, guys. Like, you know, I know, like, Planet Coaster 2, if it comes out, it won't be out a year, and people will be saying Planet Coaster 3. So I don't think, like, this is our shot. I do not think, I think, like, a lot of our hopes are riding on a Planet Coaster 2. And, you know, with respect to people saying, yeah, but what about a Planet Zoo 2? I think Planet Zoo propelled the zoo simulation genre so far into the future of what everybody was playing. It was such a masterful design in modern day zoo simulation design that, you know, and really one of the only examples we have to go off of is Prehistoric Kingdom. But, you know, that's like kind of just being designed by like 8 people. You know, Planet Zoo set the bar, I think, for many, many years to come of what people expect of a modern zoo simulation game. But what I'm saying is they did such a good job. I just don't think that they assign the studio resources to do a Planet Zoo 2 any time before probably 2028, 2029. You know, we get a lot of the talk about the 3 creative management simulation games that are coming down the pipeline with Frontier, which a lot of us are putting our bets on Planet Coaster 2 being the first of the 3. And then, of course, we know that Jurassic World Evolution 3, well, a new Jurassic World game from Frontier is coming. So that's the second one. Would I look for the third one to be Planet Zoo 2? Honestly, no. And honestly, I would think that's a good thing. I think that is almost like a testament of how good a job Frontier did with Planet Zoo 2 and how it's still garnering a very, very healthy zoo simulation community, that it just doesn't warrant throwing all of that away to present a Planet Zoo 2. Like, I think that game could still have a good little life left before you just start throwing out its, you know, hints and rumors of its sequel. Now, Planet Coaster, on the other hand, that is, so what are we thinking? So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. We're going on 8 years since the original. That makes sense. That, like, we are due a Planet Coaster successor. Like we mentioned before, just with the technological advances that they've made, most likely with their engine, you know, we're assuming a Planet Coaster 2 would be developed with the Cobra engine. I don't think you're going to see it come out and all of a sudden it's going to be on Unreal or, you know, Unity or something like that. It's going to be on Cobra. We pretty much, you know, you can pretty much bet the house on that. But that is just my thoughts on watching a random Disneyland vlog and just getting really excited with Planet Coaster 2 in mind, in my head. And what do you guys think? Do you think that a Planet Coaster 2 is what you've been waiting for to take your ideas to that level that you knew original Planet Coaster couldn't? With the level of idea that you have in mind and the way you want to make things look, is Planet Coaster just not going to cut it? You're placing your bets on Planet Coaster 2. And you know, another thing a lot of people come in to say when we do these Planet Coaster 2 videos as well is, the only problem with that is we have to remember we don't know how much Planet Coaster 2 is going to launch with. It could be pretty bare bones. You have to remember, didn't Planet Coaster only launched with a couple themes? You had your little pirate theme. You had, of course, the generic Planet Coaster theme. I think you had Western when it dropped. So that's another thing too. We can't expect Planet Coaster 2 to just come out the gate with everything that we had at our disposal for Planet Coaster. So, you know, there's that. And also too, we have to remember with respect to, okay, talking about the original Planet Coaster again, remember that got announced in, what was it, June of 2015? And then I don't believe the early bird access or essentially the Planet Coaster Alpha came out until the February of that next year. So, okay, it got announced in June. Of course, we're already almost to the end of June. Haven't heard anything yet. So July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. May have been March. Okay, well, we'll say 9 months from the moment that Planet Coaster got announced to the moment that a lot of us had our hands on it and were, you know, designing little pirate villages and stuff, that March. And then, of course, it dropped, the full release dropped in November of that year. So we could still be a ways away. Like if they announce Planet Coaster 2 in the next 2 weeks, next week, that doesn't mean you're going to be like playing it in July. I would highly, highly suspect it'll probably follow that same trajectory. I would say in the absolute best case scenario, not knowing how far along they are with it, you could get a holiday release, November, something like that. Just, you know, but I think if they let us know about the game this summer, I want to be optimistic, but being a realist, I would not think until probably next spring, probably wouldn't even get our hands on it earlier than next spring. But it's just that confirmation that it's coming. The hype would be off the charts if we could just get that Frontier Direct or Frontier, what do they call it? Frontier Unlocked. If we could just get that random tweet on a Tuesday, it will probably like crash Planet Coaster's comms, you know. But I just think that I think we should expect it at this point. I saw the leaks like you all did, where it kind of the Epic Game Store, Epic Game DB, they were saying that people, I read up on it a little bit, didn't really do a deep dive into it, but they're saying that people were seeing comments or something to the effect of Planet Coaster 2 was in that batch of upcoming games. So I don't know, that seems a little weird. A lot of times, especially in recent years, Frontier is pretty good about keeping a lid on stuff until the moment they're ready to release it. So I don't know, but it looked a lot. See, the problem is some of the leaks sounded totally off the wall. Some of it sounded really, really believable. But at the end of the day, it was a leak. We don't have any concrete information yet, but as soon as we do, I will jump back on here and we will report it for you guys. I've got my office getting back to where I think I want it. We're rolling on. I've still got some painting to do. I still have to finish one of the walls. Maybe when everything's done, I'll get a office studio tour ready for you guys and let you guys see what I've been up to for essentially the last 3 months. This office has been an absolute disaster. But I'm really turning the corner now and getting things to that point that I knew would take a while when I started it, but it's really coming along really cool. And I was just thinking, like, this is as far this is the first time that I've sat down here and I've looked over kind of at my Middle Earth map and all of my the decorations and stuff that I've found from thrift stores and antique stores. And all right, I'm sitting here randomly on a Sunday. It's June 23rd. And for the first time in 3 months, I was inspired to make a video and do some recording just by looking out across the room again and not seeing half painted walls, you know, pallets stacked in here, you know, only like just junk everywhere, the floor needing to be swept, nothing where I want it. I think this is an indication for me mentally that this room is quickly getting to the way I want it to start recording again and being down here and again in that creator sense. Instead of just like coming down here, watching YouTube videos, and then going back upstairs because it's a disaster. This is really coming together, and hopefully I can start getting some regular video. But anyways, guys, I'll go ahead and jump on out of here. And like always, thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me. And I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.